Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
Nah, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tuesdays with Stories. I am Joe List. I got spiky 90s hair, and that's Mark Norman over there.
Hey, I can't stop sweating. I'm gay. It's a heat wave. I hate it. I hate the heat.
What's the AC situation at the new place?
Well, this place is pretty sprawling. I don't want to brag, but so we got the AC in the bedroom because you want a nice, crispy sleep time. You know, you want that ice cold room for the bed, but the living room is a whole other planet, and we don't have we got to buy a new one, I guess, because the living room's a fucking hot box.
Well, we got the same exact situation. It's this New York living. There's no central air anywhere unless you're loaded, I guess, or like loaded. And we have the same thing. So I'm sitting in the bedroom. So we call it the pool. I'm going to go sit in the pool. So we'll be in the living room. You're watching, Golden Girls or whatever it is, and you're just pouring sweat. But it's kind of nice because you have the pool going.
Yes.
So sometimes we'll pause and be like, pool break, and we'll come in here and just sit for a few minutes, and then it actually gets cold in here.
Aha.
So once you're chilly, you go back out into the sweat thing, and it's like a little thunderstorm situation. It's nice.
That's so funny because we call the cold bedroom, we call it the pond. How funny is that? And we call the living room Auschwitz. It's so fucking sweltering. That's so weird. You pool pond.
Pool pond. Well, it's a nice
pool pot.
That's what it feels like. Is it taking a dip? It feels like you're dipping in and dipping out. Zip it up and zip it out. Okay, zippity doo dah, Dave.
My favorite is you're in this hot box, so your body's getting this glisten of jizzy film on it because it's that wetness, that dew, Mountain Dew, and then you go in there and those sheets are like ice, and you go woo woo because your body's all cummy, and then you get on the hot or the cold sheets, and it feels like a ice tray.
It's pretty nice. Well, here's the other thing with the New York living is there's like an alley in between us. Like there's just a building to the right, like 4 feet apart. So there's like a little, whatever it is, 6-foot alley, but there's no breeze. Like the bedroom, ironically, if I have this window open, there's no building behind us. So a breeze will flow through.
Oh, nice.
But you want the AC on.
Right.
So the breeze does nothing. We want the breeze in the living room. So the living room, we have 2 windows open, but then you have the shades, and there's no breeze. So I tried to open the window and move the shade back to try to get some breeze, but everyone next door has the same idea. So you look out there, and you just see an old guy with his ball bag sticking out.
Right.
Then there's like a middle-aged woman laying on her bed with fat legs, and you're just looking right at them. Like there's watching me watch TV, and I glance over, and I can literally see somebody's asshole just in the window.
It's like fish tanks. We're all just living in these weird aquariums, and it's kind of an unwritten rule in the Big Apple where you just kind of go, that's a geriatric whore with varicose veins and a huge labia, but hey, it's New York, fuck it. And then you're shirtless over here. My gal, she's got big floppy tits and a decent bod, so she's walking around. I'm like, what are you doing? You're going to show the world. She's like, bring it on. I'm like, oh man, and my tiny dick's all shriveled up. I put an oven mitt over that thing immediately.
Well, so my ex-girlfriend was like that. She would change right in the windows, and we lived in Harlem, and she had... It made me nervous at the time.
Yeah.
Progressed, everybody. Don't worry. But I was like, they're going to be fucking kicking in our door after you. What are you, nuts?
Of course.
I mean, she's just a petite, blonde, 20-year-old Colorado ski chick.
Oh, I've seen that porn.
In the window. My God.
Yeah.
And, of course, that's my fantasy, probably projecting there. But she would walk around, and her line was always... their loss. I'm like, people can just see you. She's like, well, their loss. And it was like a joke.
I don't get it.
Oh, it's a bit.
Because she's saying she's gross?
She's saying she's gross, but obviously she was hot,
I see.
But, I mean...
It's their win.
But, there would be, like, outside of our window, it's like a hang up there. It's old school New York. There'd be 9 guys sitting around like on my car, and we're right in the window. First level, just, I mean, literally, there's 4 guys standing outside, and she's nude in the window, so I think she might have had her own fantasies or something, but...
I think so. That sounds a little hot and bothery. But
well,
hey,
it bothered me, but...
yeah,
but it was
she's
a fun
hot,
line.
you're bothered.
Their loss, but...
Yeah, well, they didn't lose the boner. That's still there. So I don't know. I think they're doing fine. But can I jump into your big thing here?
My big thing, my asshole.
Yeah. No, well, I've already jumped into there. That's my pool. That's above ground, but. You got to tell the world the big to do.
That was gonna be my closer. What are you nuts? We're 4 minutes in here. No, you put it. We already started it.
I panicked. I did the closer in the beginning. I was bobbing.
I mean, we got 55 minutes to go, and you're jumping the lead or leading with the dick, whatever it is.
Burying.
I'm fucked. First of all, I'm losing my mind over the Harlem comment. I felt like it came off racist. I'm a bad person. I just meant to say she was very fit and blonde, and there was people hanging outside our window. I'm afraid we're going to get shut down for that.
Oh, it's fine. But look, Harlem's white now. No one knows what you mean.
Well, I'm just saying, here in Astoria, it's a bunch of old fucking fat ladies walking around and Greeks, but over there, it was young, spry gentlemen right outside of our window, and oh God, we're gonna get canceled for Christ's sakes.
No, have you seen that porn, the blacked?
No,
boy,
let me know the site, and I'll pretend I don't watch it.
It'll either ruin your life or be the best thing that ever happened to you. It's just like a 4 NBA players basically just drafted. They're like 18, and there's a petite little blonde, pasty, whitey Irish chick, and she's just getting airtight, every hole filled, rotisseried, flipped over, twisted, turning, topsy-turvy, and it's a scene, man.
Well, that doesn't sound like something I'd be into, but if you could send me the link immediately, that would be great. I just want to flag it so I make sure I don't watch it. But
yeah,
I didn't. I take it all back. The whole thing. Sorry, and
no, you're fine. I'm hard. If it makes you feel any better, but it's a dad's nightmare. I'll say that.
Well, anyways, so yeah, we'll jump into the big thing here. I don't know how I'm going to fill the rest of the show because I was really going to tease and lead and do the whole thing here, but
save it. I blew the wad, or I shot the gun, or whatever. Jumped the gun, jumped the shark, jump shot. What else you got?
And a hook shot. What? Okay. Well,
Raymond?
First. No, this ain't Raymond. So how about this? I think this could be a bit. This was a story. I don't want to build it up because then people are going to be like, that's not a bit. You suck. Fuck you. By the way, I haven't been looking at Twitter, but I keep talking about how I don't look at Twitter. So these people, they get an Instagram account just to come in and be like, hey, still here, you fucking loser, you piece of shit.
Jesus. These trolls, they're nonstop. They're persistent.
You look on their thing, like they've never posted a photo, they don't have any followers, they're just like, yeah, just letting you know, you can't hide from us, you cuck loser, you stink.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Sarah's gotten really into this Poshmark situation. Are you familiar with Poshmark?
Poshmark, is that clothing?
Yeah, so it's it might be right up your alley there.
Really?
It's this website where you can go. It's like another social media thing, basically. It's another thing to obsess over, but you can post your old shit and sell it that you don't want. It's like a yard sale, but like an app for that.
Oh, I like it.
So you can type in furniture. So Sarah's been getting us furniture on Poshmark. So you find these old, it's like good for the environment and all that bullshit.
Right.
You post it and you go dining room set. And then you find like all these people in your neighborhood in Astoria or whatever that are like, I got a dining room set, $50. It's mid-century, yada, yada. It's got a cum stain.
Yeah.
So she's been doing that, and I'm a little bit like, what are we, hobos? We don't need old furniture. We have furniture. Our furniture's fine, You
could be buying a chest of Corona. You never know.
Exactly. It's weird times, but you could sell your shit, too. She sold a couple pairs of pants and a pair of my underwear and, a ceiling fan, whatever.
Yeah. All with cum on it.
Yeah, I like cum on everything. But so she finds like this table. She's like, I got an old kitchen table. It's wooden. And I'm like, all right, great. And she's like, I got to go pick it up. And she doesn't do the thing where she's like, can you help me go pick it up? She's like, I got to go pick it up. I got to figure out, maybe I'll take an Uber. I got this big table. I got to lug it back. And I'm like, well, you want me to carry the table? I can come help you.
A little passive aggressive.
I'm your husband, for God's sakes.
Yeah,
so I go, I'll go pick up the table.
All right,
And
but she knows you're going to say that.
I think so. I think it's more, I don't think it's passive aggressive. I think it's insecurity. That thing, I don't want to be a burden, and you hate me, and everyone hates me, you know.
That I get.
I feel that way with podcasts. I'm like, hey, would you mind doing a queef with us? If you don't want to, just throw hot coffee in my face. I'm a piece of shit.
Same.
Don't
get me started. Oops, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I said, don't get me started on the Seinfeld text. Like, you're like, give him a call. I'm like, what are you? I'm a burden. I feel like he sees my number on the phone and goes, God, Jesus, and just throws his phone in a lake.
He might. I mean, it's a gamble, but I don't think he does.
All right. I appreciate that. Then that'll sadly keep me going for the rest of the day.
Because a guy like that, he could just write, "Hey, fuck off, dude." Like he's known for that. That's his thing.
Good point. You have a point.
He's not one of us. If you did that with like Nick Griffin, he might be, whipping the phone and just praying that you don't call again. But Seinfeld would just be like, "Hey, get out of here, you fucking loser."
Good point. All right. Thank you. Continue.
No problem. I was outside of his apartment last night. I was with Sarah, and I took her by his first apartment and then was pointing to the current apartment, being like, huh? Look at this.
Wow.
He lived here, and now he lives there. And with a non-Seinfeld fan, they're just like, yeah, all right, who gives a shit?
Yeah, but look what jokes got him.
It's crazy. And it's literally the fake address from the show was his first apartment, 129 West 81st, and you can go there, and it's just like a whatever apartment. It probably costs $9,000 now.
Right.
But back in '76, it was like $300, and you're like, now he's in this building, and you can see the one from the other.
Wow,
and
that's
I'm
wild.
Like, this is history. This is the address from the show, and if we were alive in the fake show, we would know him. And she's just yawning and just tweeting and looking on Poshmark. I want to kill myself, but
yeah, story of my life too. I do all that shit with the lady, and she's like, I don't care. My girlfriend hates views. That really bugs me. Views. Like we'll be in Malibu or Italy or something, and I'll be like, look at this, huh? Look at that mountain like landscape and the rolling hills, and she's like, what are you gonna do? And I'm like, what are you kidding? That's God's jizz right there. Are you nuts? She's like, yeah, blow me.
Wow, hates a view.
I know. What is that? I mean, not the show. We all hate the show, but yeah, hates a view.
That's a bad point of view, if you ask me. But
POV, good, also good porn.
It reminds me of my Curb Your Enthusiasm line that I always want to give to Larry and annoy him.
Please.
Where, I think I've told it before, probably on the show, where the two characters are walking and someone, maybe Cheryl, says, "Hey, look at the sunset," and he goes, "I don't feel like it." I think it's a perfect Larry line.
That's I thought he said that. That's
no. It's a JL that I want to be an LD, but
right.
Everything I do for him. But anyways, back to the story.
Yes.
So she goes, I gotta go pick up this table. I'm like, all right, let's go get the table. And it's like Sunday afternoon, sunny day. I don't feel like it. I'm bringing someone else's trash. We already have a table. I'm just pouting the whole way, but trying to keep a good, pair of tits on.
Sure.
We go over there. It's down the street, and I'm expecting, some 75-year-old woman who's about to die, and she's cleaning out her closet, or maybe it's like a widow or whatever. So we sit there, and she's like, okay, she's coming down. The door opens, and it's two women carrying a table, so they gotta kick the door open with their shoulder, So I run in, hold the door open.
Yeah.
It's two 25-year-old smoke shows.
Oh, God.
Two of the hottest women I've ever seen, and it's mid-Sunday afternoon. It's a heat wave. They got tank tops, no bra, boxer shorts, like booty boxer shorts. They're all sweaty, and they're like, hey, here's the table. One of them very friendly. The other one was kind of shitty. She's on the phone. She's like, yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
we're like, thank you so much. We'll give it a good home. And I'm like, this is crazy. What? There's a dental office in the building. Isn't that strange? And she's like, yeah, it's weird, right? And I'm like, I'm looking. They're bending over to grab the stuff, and you can see nipples. The whole situation.
Wow.
And we walk out of there. We got this big table, and now I'm like, we got to sell the couch. Let's sell the couch. We don't need a bed. What are we doing with a bed? I think we need some new picture frames. Now I'm addicted. I'm all Poshmark.
Wow, this is wild. I mean, again, it goes back to porn, and also I know you like an independent lady, a lady who's like doing shit, riding a bike or painting a house or killing a moose, and these gals are carrying stuff. So I bet that got you even hot and bothered her.
Well, they're carrying and they're cleaning house. They're taking care of stuff. They're recycling. I mean, they had like the ponytail with the sweat, like looking shitty but hot. The shitty hot.
Shitty hot. Love shitty hot. That's big. That's a good look.
I mean, 2 sets of tits, 4 tits total, 0 bras, drip, the Cleav drip,
Oh, I love a Cleav drip. Great character on Cheers.
Might have even saw a stain, maybe some kind of wet moisture stain.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you, I'm all over Poshmark like it's Bumble. I'm looking at Afghans and hampers and bureaus.
Oh boy. Man, oh man, maybe we'll get on there. Maybe we'll just get a dinette set just to get one off.
I mean, you got to get involved because I thought it was going to be old bags, but the old bags, they don't know how to use the digital business, so they give it to their nieces, and their nieces are out here saving the planet one nipple at a time. And I highly recommend this Poshmark.
All right, well, hell, let's just start throwing our recliners out the window. Like, oh shit, we need a new Barca lounger there. Call up Tammy in Queens.
Well, it goes both ways because if you sell, they come to your home. But I think buying is the way to go because they're all disheveled. It's not like they're putting on their business. I mean, these girls were in sweats and flip flops. I saw her toe. Really hot stuff.
Oh boy, this is something, man. Oh man, credenza.
Well, and I'm telling you, got a new place. I mean, you could use some Poshmark stuff. Maybe
I'm spending a fortune on this shit. This furniture. Furniture's so expensive, and I'm such a queef. I like all the mid-century jizz and anal and all that. So, like, I'm pretty particular. But this is all real vintage.
You got to get Poshmark ASAP. The next day, we went. This is a whole bigger story, but we happened to be in the car with Steve Rogers, and we got a table set, mid-century, authentic, whatever, yada yada adjectives. And it was right down the street from our house, and we happened to be in a car. We scooped it up. This was like a sexy Latino man, so it's nice for the ladies, too.
Sure.
And he was like, yes, take out the chair. This is boo-ba-da-boo. I was more Italian than anything. But so we got a new table set, new chairs, and all for like $20. 3 chairs for $20.
What? Oh, yeah, I got to
you.
get on this.
Go on it right now, today, afterwards, and you can get some good business.
And hey, you're welcome, Poshmark. This is quite a butt plug we're giving you here. So, hey, throw us a pillowcase or a chandelier or something.
Yeah, and ladies, if you want to move some merchandise, go braless, because I want to go back. I'm going, whatever they're selling, I'm buying. I'll buy their old shoes and whatever they got.
You might have stumbled on a huge, like, horny furniture thing, like, get movers, but hot ladies. But the problem is they can only lift, half an ottoman. Right. I don't know if it'd be hot. It'd be a hot thing to have movers come by with booty shorts on and lifting up your record player and all that. But I don't know how much they could lift.
Right. Yeah. We'll sell the little things. I mean, I got a thimble from my grandmother gave me. I got a couple pens. I don't know what exactly you can sell because I don't have Poshmark myself. It's all Sarah, but I'm really encouraging her. I'm like, we need some new furniture downstairs.
Yeah, I'm worried about the day you go pick up a grand piano and it's going to be Estelle Getty or somebody like that. You're going to be bummed.
Well, I could get into that too, I guess, but
yeah, that's true. Why not?
But who knows? Highly recommend the Poshmark. And I'll tell you about this, too, because I've been really living my life here. Because New York City, I mean, we're at current time of recording, I think we're testing at like 2%. And we're really doing well, although there was a bunch of wild shit this weekend or parties or some business.
In your hood.
Yes, Sarah walked by it. She was like, something crazy's happening on Steinway. This is what's so weird about New York City, though. Because each neighborhood itself is like the size of a town.
Right.
And this is an interesting thing about social media. Like, I haven't been looking at Twitter. And so the day after that big party happened, someone's like, Astoria is trending in the news. And it was all these tweets about Astoria. And I'm like, what? And that night, Sarah went and hung out with some friends and shot a video and had like an outdoor hang. And I was home. I watched Rosemary's Baby, which is a hell of a picture.
Great pick. What's his face? The child molester.
Polanski.
Polanski.
All outside the... So crazy. You watch that movie, and they're outside the Dakota, and in the movie, a woman... not giving anything away. It happens at the beginning. A woman jumps off the building and lands, and her face is all dead and suicide-y. And it's shot right where John Lennon would get killed 12 years later. Isn't that weird?
How about that? That's wild. That stuff always spooks me a little bit. That those weird, kind of redundant, deja vu-y predictions, they always get me.
Yeah, it's really bizarre. And I was home alone watching. I had the window open so the light breeze would move the curtain a little bit, and then you're by yourself, and murder and Satan rapes a lady. It's really something.
Yeah. That's heavy stuff. Fun fact about that movie, Mia Farrow?
Yes.
Yes, she was banging Frank Sinatra.
Right.
And he was like, come out to Vegas, let's do some gambling. This movie's taking too long. And she was like, blow me. I'm trying to get famous here. I need to be in this picture. And he's like, he was so big. He was like, I'm calling Bob Evans, the producer.
Right.
And I'm going to get you out of this movie. I'm pulling you out of the picture. And then she started banging the guy in the movie. Right? Shit.
Cassavetes?
No, maybe it was McQueen. She started fucking somebody, like, to get back at Sinatra, and they were engaged, and she called it off, and she started fucking someone else.
Yeah, I know there was a big thing. She married Sinatra, and he didn't want her in the business because he was like a possessive-y, like,
yes,
not my lady.
Right. I can't remember, but she basically dumped the most famous guy on the planet who she married or was about to marry, and then started banging, like, who did she start fucking? It was
Andre something. She married Andre something. I think he was like an opera singer. He has the name like an opera singer. His name is Andre something.
And then Woody Allen.
Right.
What a range. You fuck Sinatra and then an opera singer and then Woody Allen. I mean, this gal has zero dick standards. She's like, I don't care. As long as you're famous, I'll fuck you.
By the way, I'm reading Woody Allen's biography, and he does a number on that lady.
Oh, really?
He goes in hard. That she's a psycho, a lunatic, and she... adopts kids willy-nilly and then sends them back and changes all her kids' names, and she's crazy and all this stuff.
I didn't know
my favorite actor, female actor of all time. I love her.
Really?
Oh, so good, but it sounds like she might be nuts. But who knows? He said, she said, yada, yada,
yeah.
huda, huda.
Well, talented people tend to be wacky and have some skeletons, but... I could see it. I look at her and I'm like, you got something cuckoo behind the eyes. Something's up. And I didn't know you could return a kid.
Yeah, from what I understand, she's returned quite a few kids and changes. Like Ronan Farrow's name was Satchel. He was Satchel Farrow. Now he's Ronan Farrow.
Huh. Good
cuckoo.
Names.
Yeah, Satchel's fun.
I think those are both jazz singers. Satchel Paige. No, he's a baseball player.
There's the baseball. Woody named him. That's in the book too. Woody named all his kids that he was allowed to name after his black heroes.
Oh, fun!
And she changed it to Ronan.
Wow, black names matter. That's a weird homage to the Afro-Americane.
Yeah, it's a fascinating book, but any jizz.
No, sorry.
I watched Rosemary's Baby, and then Sarah, I go to bed early nowadays, and she came home late, and so she was like, last night I walked by Steinway in Astoria. It was wild. There was like parties in the streets, like motorcycles everywhere. And my point is, so I saw on Twitter, Astoria's trending. What the hell's going on? It's crazy. And I never looked at Twitter. I'm like, Twitter. If I just read Twitter, I'd be like, what the hell happened in Astoria? But I was here. And I went for a long walk. I didn't even notice anything. It was just normal. I slept here. I didn't hear a peep. So my point is, you never know what's going on. It was just a few blocks away.
Yeah.
But I'm reading about how Astoria was crazy, living in Astoria, and I'm like, I didn't notice anything.
I think that's a perk of living in New York. I mean, these small towns, mouse queefs, and they call the police, or everybody knows about it, And here, you can have something a block away, and you don't even hear about it. And I kind of like that.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, because the neighborhood's big enough that 6 blocks away, you don't know what the hell's going on.
Right. My gal does that Citizen app, which if you're a neurotic guy or anxious guy, don't get Citizen app because it just tells you like, hey, a guy was anally raped 10 feet away from you. And you're like, oh, how about that? Because it knows your location. So it can say what's what around the city, and you're like, oh, wow, in Harlem, a lady got face fucked by a hobo or whatever, and it's bananas the shit that's going on right under our asshole, and we have no idea.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. That's no good for me. I have to be done with apps in general, because every time you get a new app, that's another thing to check.
I know.
There's too much checking. I got my phone time way down. I'm proud of it. I'm trying to really work on this shit.
Yeah, check your head, checks and balances. It's tough out there. How about this? I'll throw this in. So this building, and by the way, Sandy Koufax lives in this building.
What?
Get out of town. How cool is that?
That's insane.
Yeah. Just a fun nugget. But so my building, this is one of these, like, there's a building board, and you got to everybody's on board with the building. Everybody's like, we got to keep it clean. You got to wear your mask. Everybody's friends. Everybody knows each other. Like, some guy knocked on my door. He's like, hey, I brought you your mail. And I'm like, ugh.
Gross.
This is new to me. It's a little small town shit, but it's nice, good intentions. So me and the lady, we have a couple of cocktails, a few libations last night. We go, let's go up on the roof. I grab a bottle of wine out of the fridge, a couple glasses. We go up there. There's a big to-do on the roof, and I was like, what's this? And they go, hey, get over here. And I'm like, oh, hey. And it's the whole building. They all hang out.
Oh, my God.
I know. I was like, oh, hey. And they're like, this is Barbara from 4-H. This is Donnie from 6B. And I'm like, ah. And there's like kids running around. They're eating, tart and cake and anal. And it was tough. I mean, I said a few things that scared them. The ladies made a joke, and they hated that. And, oh, boy, we do not fit in this tea time little building here. But we're going to try to fake it.
I mean, that's tough. That's like my worst nightmare.
Yeah, it was hard, man. One guy does like costumes on Broadway, and another guy's a fucking famous writer. I mean, these are like real West Village, New York kind of intellectual fucking cum guzzlers, and I feel very out of place.
Well, I just hate any kind of hang when you're not looking for or expecting a hang. I want to set up hang.
Yes, yeah, I wasn't ready, and it's not even a hang that you want. It's a hang of like, oh, it feels like you're hanging out with like your teachers or something.
Yeah, like I remember when I had roommates, like I was living with my best friend in the world, but I remember like no shoes, tiptoeing to the bathroom because I'm in the middle of a movie or I'm jerking off or I'm reading a book or whatever it is. I'm on Poshmark, whatever. I tiptoe because I'm like, I don't feel like hanging with my favorite guy right now.
I get it.
So you got this with fucking Barbara. I mean, that's a nightmare. Anyone named Barbara stinks. No offense, Barbs.
I hate a Babs. I hate a Streisand. I hate a Bush. They all stink. But it was tough. I got a bottle of wine. I'm ready to, guzzle some poison here. And they're like, get over here. And then you have to, like, watch what you say. And then you go, fuck it, I'm going to be myself. And you're yourself for 2 seconds and you ruin everything. So you go, all right, abort that. And you just want to say the things you want to say with your lady, but you can't because it's, Tom, Dick, and Queef over here. So, yeah, it was tough. It was a good 2 hours of chit-chat.
Well, maybe that's what we need to work on is the ability to just be ourselves around anybody, and then they can deal with whatever.
I agree, and I've been getting better at that in my life, but this is also... These people can push you out of a building. I mean, this is crunch time here. Like, I'm the new guy, so I'm trying to ingratiate and appease. And they were trashing this one lady, like that lady in 7H. She's a fucking coos, and we all hate her. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be 7H.
Right. Well, don't be 8H. That's a famous one. Studio.
Oh, is that Fallon?
I think it's SNL. Studio 8H.
Yeah,
hey,
right.
Speaking of studios, we ought to read some... we got some sponsors here, folks, as you know, and it would be really nice if you guys could support the people that support the show.
Yes.
And this is something you're going to need right now.
Oh.
Native deodorant. I mean, I don't know where you guys are living, but we're in the middle of a huge heat wave here.
Heat wave.
And you got to get some... Native deodorant. I love this stuff. They sent us some a while back, and now I'm addicted. This is my deodorant, folks.
Yeah.
Tuesdays with Stories is brought to you by Native Deodorant. I believe in taking care of yourself, and one way to treat yourself better is to use products that are all natural, like Native Deodorant. Switching to an aluminum-free deodorant doesn't mean you have to sacrifice on odor protection. This stuff is really good on odor protection. That I can tell you. My wife uses it. I use it. With Native, you don't just block odor. You smell fresh and clean all day long. Native creates safe, simple, effective products, and Native has over 14,000 five-star reviews, so you know it works. That's insane. That's every person at a hockey game, if people were allowed to go to hockey games, giving a five-star review. It doesn't contain aluminum, parabens, or talc. That's pretty good. You know about Native.
Yeah, I love Native. I mean, it comes in all these different flavors. There's something for everybody. Coconut, vanilla, lavender and rose, cucumber and mint, even eucalyptus, folks. That's how you know this is good stuff. I use it. My lady uses it. It's fucking fresh. It's nice. It's just the right hint of scent, and you don't sweat. I'm a fan. So do what I did and make the switch to Native today by going to nativedeo.com/Tuesdays or use the promo code Tuesdays at checkout to get 20% off your first order. That's nativedeo.com/Tuesdays or use promo code Tuesdays at checkout for 20% off your first order. Native deodorant. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live.
Nice. Something DOO economics. Voodoo economics. Hey, well, this show is also brought to you by Raycon.
Woo-wee.
Now that everyone is cooped up at home and using earbuds has become an essential service. Sorry, I am dumb. That's an essential service, everybody. You got to use your earbuds. You got roommates. You got neighbors, especially here in New York. Like we said, people are right next to you. You got to drown out the sound of your roommates, your girlfriend, the fireworks, or what have you. You use Raycon. Everybody needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. You need them, folks. This is another thing I got a pair of. I use all the time. These things are killer sound, HD sound. I mean, I don't even know the terminology, but the sound is amazing, and you don't have to have them attached to your head, which is great. I mean, you're a real loser if you're walking around with the cord hanging from your neck. I can tell you
nerd
that.
alert.
You already know Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and they sound just as amazing as the other top audio brands you know. The newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are the best anyone can get.
You got that right, baby. Now's the time to get the latest and greatest from Raycon. Get 15% off your first order at buyraycon.com/Tuesdays. That's buyraycon.com/Tuesdays for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. One more time. That's Raycon.com/Tuesdays. Get them today. You don't want to listen to your own thoughts. We love Raycon. Get on board.
All right. Way to go, Raycon.
Yeehaw.
So, you got the new building. I was walking around trying to figure out what building because we FaceTimed and you showed me a little bit around. And then I was in the hood and looking around at all these buildings. I'm like, I think it might be this building. And I was like, maybe it's this building. It was really something.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just knock on windows, but I didn't want to surprise you. So I texted you. And then by the time you got back, I was off and running.
Well, it's so fun because I'm literally in this cool, iconic New York spot. My buddy Salacuse came by, and he's a Brooklyn kid. And when I showed him the building, he came by on one of these new Revel mopeds.
Sure.
And he came by, and I got to do the thing, which is such a New York thing that I never have been able to do. Stick my head out the window and go, Sally! And he says, hey! And then he came on up, and it was, I love the out the window yell.
Oh, that's fun. See, it's hard because I was in the neighborhood, so you want to pop in, but you got to give the person the time.
Right.
And then I'm lingering like an asshole, but then I'm just walking around buildings waiting to hear. So eventually you start drifting north.
Sure.
And then by the time you get the message, I'm too far. So I got to get down there, but I got a new way to get there. Tease.
Oh!
But wait, I still got one other thing.
Oh, please. Tease.
We go, we're finally back. I mean, the city is back. I'm riding the subway again, which is nice. What's this?
Oh, this is a shirt. A fan sent in a shirt.
Oh, yeah, they made the shirt.
Yeah.
These guys are making shirts willy-nilly. I don't know what the hell's going on here. These shirts, all these undocumented shirts popping up.
I know these alien shirts. We need to build a wall, but yeah. It's crazy, but they're well done, and he sent a few, so I got some for you there, Fatty, and there you go. It says "fuck your dad" on it, or "fuck your mom."
Yeah, hang loose, hang 10, fuck your mom. Yeah, I remember that one.
Good times. Thanks for the shirt.
I mean, a sticker would be nice. I think a sticker of that would be good. I think that one is the one I polled. Would you guys wear this shirt?
Right. Yeah, this is a special edition.
But any jizz. So we've been taking the subway here and there, and yesterday 2 days ago I took it, and it was a 25-minute wait, and I was like, we're back to just having a garbage subway system.
And they're talking about charging more, by the way, in this pandemic, which is a goddamn kick in the ball sack.
Well, that's crazy, but everyone's wearing masks, so it's nice. It feels safe-ish, but the windows aren't open. I'm like, well, I don't know why every window wouldn't be open on every train. It seems insane to me.
Yeah,
why is that
that's
not
a good
an
point.
obvious? But I guess the AC, who the fuck knows what's what. But anyways, so we used to run at the reservoir all the time. You do a couple loops around the reservoir, which is a huge reservoir in the middle of Central Park. Great place to run. So Sarah and I said, fuck it, let's go. We haven't been there in a long time. So we took the train in. We get off. We go for a nice run. Now, the reservoir is a big track in Central Park, and no one has masks on there. It's like we've decided this is a mask-free area because you're running, you're outdoors, so transmission's lower outdoors. And then with running, you're just passing by someone real quick.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of evidence that there's less transmission outdoors and there's less transmission when you're just passing through or swinging by.
Yeah.
So it's sort of this area of like, all right, we're going a little lenient on the masks here in the running area. So everyone's got it below their chin there, And so
Sure.
we're all running. And I'm getting in really good shape. I can really cook these days.
Nice.
So
You're the only one.
I'm flying, and I run up. I'm about to finish the run. I got a half mile left, and there's this old Upper West Side lady just jogging around. You know those people that try to run even though their bodies are all fucked up? Looks like they're missing bones.
Oh, I know them. I've fucked a few.
Yeah, so her one shoulder's higher than the other, and her spine is higher than her shoulders,
Yes, yeah, the little hip dysplasia thing going on, the saggy arm.
Yeah, and both toes are facing each other, and one heel kicks out this way, but she's still trying to run for some reason.
It's like if you put a crypt keeper in some body armor or Under Armour.
Yeah, it's a bad look. So I'm flying, and this lady, as I get close, she turns and goes, oh, and starts sprinting.
Huh.
She just starts sprinting away from like I'm chasing her, like I'm a fucking purse snatcher or something.
You're white.
And I'm running, and now I'm neck and neck with her because she's sprinting. And she goes, oh, and then she gives me the wave around. She's waving her hand like, go around.
What? What is
And
this, the Olympics?
I started laughing. I'm like, well, I would have blown past you if you didn't sprint, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah,
and she threw her hands out, like double hands, like, ah. And
What?
I'm looking around like everyone's running by. I would have passed you in 1 second. No one has masks on this track. Everyone's just running past each other, walking past. We're not having conversations.
Yeah.
And I'm like, have you been doing this the whole time with everyone that runs past you?
Weird. So was she wearing a mask?
I don't remember, actually. I think
Interesting.
maybe she did. I can't remember. I don't recall because she was like next to me, like she was in front of me and then sort of next to me because she was sprinting.
Yeah.
And then waved like go around me, and then I just flew past her. So this whole thing happened in about 4 seconds.
Right.
I assume she had a mask on, but it was very bizarre.
Your neck and turkey neck. But do you think she was COVID-y? Like, get your COVID away from me.
I believe so. Maybe because I was breathing heavy or sweating. I don't know what was going on, but I mean, there's 800 people. It's not like it's her and I.
Yeah. These old bags, they got something going on because I've been yelled at by 17 chicks who were in the movie Cocoon, and they're coming at me and yelling at me all the time. Like, I had a sip of a straw coming out of a Diet Coke, and I'm walking down the street, and she goes, "Oh, what is that? A fashion statement? Why wear the mask if you're not even going to use it?" I'm like, "I'm sipping a Coke, you cunt! Like, give me 2 seconds to sip."
Yeah, you need a sip time, and I had a very similar thing where down in your neighborhood, in that area, it was me and Ari and Sarah were walking. Sarah has her mask on, and we have our masks, below the chin, it's wear a mask when social distancing is not possible. We're walking on the sidewalk. It's outside, breezy day, and there's an old lady, like a New York lady, just sitting in a chair. You know how New Yorkers just sit in a chair outside?
Sure.
So she's sitting there. She has her mask on, and we're just walking by, and there's a couple feet between us because she's like up against the wall, and we're like on this side of the sidewalk. We even moved, and same thing. She's like, "Put your mask on," and we're like, we're just passing. I mean, we didn't say anything. I just waved, like, yeah, you're right. But here's my thing with those ladies. I'm like, A, you have a mask on. B, we're outside. C, we're passing you for, 3 seconds maximum.
Yeah.
And we're about 4 feet away from you.
Yep.
And if you're in that position mentally, which I understand, maybe you're not ready to sit outside in Manhattan.
I agree. I completely agree. I think they're worried about knocking on death's door because these are, Ari should be worried as well. He's old, but like, I think they're just nervous and they're like, I'm going to die because of you. And they get that in their head. So they're even more angry.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the anger. I understand the safety. I get annoyed when people aren't wearing them indoors, particularly. I don't like the big crowds, but from all the evidence, being outside and just passing by someone outdoors is not a big issue. I think a lot of this is coming from the bars being open, the restaurants being open inside, people sitting inside, drinking, all that shit. But I get it. But I think if you're a person that's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You just shouldn't be out in Manhattan sitting there. Go get your groceries and run back. I'm like, you're leisurely sitting outside. You're going to run into some of this.
Completely agree. And I think don't quote me on this, but I think deep down they enjoy it. Like they go, I'm wearing a mask, you're not. I have the power. I can one-up you. And they get to call you out even though they're outside, but they have the mask on and you don't. So they immediately have the upper hand. Yeah,
I think it is that because I also don't think she's actually scared she's getting it. I don't think she thinks she's getting it from us walking past full speed 4 feet away.
Right.
And while she's wearing her mask, I don't think she's like, I just got it. That's great. I think she enjoys being like, hey, what the fuck? People like to control people and yell at them.
Yes. And you know what else is fun? And I don't want to get too dicey, but these old ladies who keep yelling at everybody in my neighborhood, they won't yell at black people without a mask, which I find very interesting. And I'm like, how bad do you... So you'd rather look not racist or whatever and get corona than, what you get it.
Right. I do. I understand. And because, they don't want to get canceled.
Yeah, they want to be Karen. Yeah, Grand Karen or whatever it is.
So it's a strange time, but I think New Yorkers, for the most part, are being safe. Everyone in the subway, like 100% of people in the subway have their masks on.
Yeah.
We go out, everyone walking around's got masks. So we'll see what happens. I mean, there's a lot of outdoor dining and drinking, but so far, so good. Hopefully it stays well or whatever, but we'll see.
Speaking of outdoors, I did a gig in Long Island, Long Beach, I believe it's called.
Yes.
What a gem of a little beach that looks like Venice. I mean, it's got its Long Island stank on it, but have you been to Long Beach?
I have not, no.
Beautiful. I mean, there's a boardwalk and the water looks good. It looks like California, and it's just this cute kind of uppity beach town, and the restaurants were popping, the bars were popping. I'm like, this is 20 minutes past JFK. I can't believe this is so close. I'm going to get an Airbnb and head out there with a lady and bang on the beach.
That sounds nice. Yeah, I mean, all I know about Long Beach is when Michael Corleone makes the phone call after he finds out his dad got shot. He's like, give me Long Beach 4, and then gives the number.
Aha. Yeah, there you go.
They're out in that area.
It looks like if Jersey Shore fucked Venice.
Oh, that sounds troubling, but also cool.
Yeah, it's got like the little restaurants on the boardwalk, and the water's right there. The beach looks clean. The sand looks good. I mean, I can't believe I didn't know about this, and it was just right there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Next time you want to go, I'll give you a ride.
What do you mean there, fatty?
Well, I got a big, shiny red vehicle right here in my backyard.
What, do you got, a radio flyer wagon?
I got I don't even want to say what I got because I mentioned what I was thinking about getting. I got 48 messages being like, whatever you do, don't buy that car, you piece of shit, you're crazy. And the worst part is there's a delay on the podcast coming out.
Right.
So I went out and bought the thing, lock, stock, and barrel. I got the insurance, the license, the seatbelt, the hood, the whole thing. And I'm just inundated, whatever that word is.
Inundated.
Yeah, Indian.
Inuit.
Yeah, whatever it is. But I'm covered in Iroquois messages saying, don't buy the Sentra, you piece of shit. This thing's going to fall apart. It dies after 6 weeks.
Oh, boy.
It's a sucker's bet. Fucking whatever.
Well, don't Indian give it.
So now I got a car and nothing but warnings being like, that's the worst car I've ever heard of in my life. But I'm like, it can't be. And my buddy Dave Yates made me feel better. He's a car guy. He's wise. And he was like, don't listen to him. He's like, it's an above average car. He's like, you bought an above average car. And he's like, you got to keep in mind, a lot of these people are fans, but he's like, these internet people, you don't know what they're doing. They drive drunk. They ride the clutch. They hit the sidewalk. They don't get their oil changes. And then the car dies and they go, oh, piece of shit.
That's true. That's true.
I'm like, there can't just be a car. Maybe I'm naive, but like, did they make an entire make of car that sucks?
I mean,
it
the
just shits the
Pinto
bed?
or the Hummer, but I think you're fine with a Japanese rice rocket or whatever the hell you got there. So I think you're all right. I mean, I don't know exactly what you got, but I think you're fine if you did the research. These queefs are going to shit on you no matter what happens. You buy a Rolls Royce or a Bentley, they're going to come after you.
Remember that Simpsons? Homer's like, I blew all of our money on a customized horn, and then he smashes his head on the steering wheel, like out of, and it goes, not customized. What's that word that I always forget?
Oh, with the license plate. The vanity? No.
Not a vanity, but a...
Customized works.
Customized, but what's that called when it's special and silly?
Customado?
Not a customized horn, but a novelty.
A novelty!
A novelty horn. And then he puts his head down in frustration. And I might be forgetting the joke because it was 25 years ago when the show was good. But anywho, so I decide I'm going to buy a car, and Big Dick Steve Rogers drives me out to I like the Nissans. I just like it. I've driven a bunch of cars from renting cars. I like them. Toyota feels so like, Toyota. My parents have a Toyota. Whatever. And I also heard, by the way, all those Japanese cars, Toyota, Honda, and Nissan, they said you can weld the hood shut for the first 5 years you have the car.
I like that.
You know, hyperbolic, obviously. I understand I got to change the oil. But maybe they do that from underneath. I don't know much about a car.
Yeah.
Do you change oil from underneath or from above?
Underneath. You got to drip it.
But you check the oil from above.
Yes.
I've done that during a wrestling match in high school. But, so we go, I find this Nissan dealership in Long Island. I asked Steve Big Dick Rogers, who's the very definition of a friend, this guy. He's like, I'm on it. He jumps in his car. He drives all the way from Brooklyn to Queens, picks us up. That's the nice thing about COVID. Everyone's got nothing to do.
I know. We're bored. That's why I texted Jerry.
He's like sitting there being like, what are you shitting me? I'll come get you. So he comes over, picks us up, drives us out to Long Island. Now, this is where it's going to get embarrassing. I mean, you talk about Arrested Development. I am a child. So I show up, lock, stock, and barrel. I'm going to buy a car. Did no research. I'm ignoring warning after warning. I'm like, I'm sticking with the Nissan. I show up with a check, like just a single check, and like, give me your car, bring the car out. And he goes, all right, I need to see your license. And I was like, shit. Well, my license expired in April. I was like, but Massachusetts, I still have a Massachusetts license. I've lived here for 14 years, never got a New York license.
Yeah, who needs it?
So I got a Massachusetts license, and he's like, well, this is expired. And I was like, but I got a letter from the DMV saying they've extended it through September. And he's like, you have that letter? And I was like, not with me.
Yeah, who keeps a letter?
I didn't bring the letter. So he's like, well, I need that letter. And I was like, well, hold on. I have a photo of it. And he's like, well, that'll do. So I didn't save the photo. The only place I have it is my mother texted it to me because they mailed it to her.
Aha. Okay,
so
we got a photo.
I literally show the salesman a text from my mom And it says, I love you, don't forget to tie your shoes or whatever underneath. And I'm like, look it, my mom said I can have a car.
Wow. Jeez, did you pull your pull-ups up?
I mean, it's so embarrassing. He's looking at it going, okay. But the salesman, you could tell, he's taking my money. Like, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he wants the moolah.
Yeah, so he wants to sell it. So he's like, okay, I think we can work around this. He's like, let me talk to my manager. He keeps leaving and talking to a guy, like, off in the distance. Yeah. And I can see the guy, like, pulling his hair out and waving his arms, being like, what?
Meanwhile, you're drinking your juice box over there.
Yeah, I got a can of chocolate milk, and he comes back, and he goes, okay, do you have anything else? Do you have another form of ID? And I'm like, well, I have a passport. And he's like, that'll do. And I was like, well, I don't have that on me. But I got a photo of the passport. So I pull up the photo of the passport, and he's like, this is expired too, because everything's expired because of COVID.
Wow. Yeah, come on. You wouldn't have had a regular passport anyway.
Well, I mean, passport I would have needed because I'm traveling all around.
That's true.
So then I'm like, he's like, what about a bank statement? Do you have any bank statements that say you live in New York? So then I just pull up my Chase app. I just show him my account, which has, in huge numbers, all the money I have in the world. So I'm like completely tipping my hand. I'm like, look.
Right.
And he's just like, okay, Jesus, okay, great. Because it's like my whole savings is in there.
Yeah. You showed your hand.
I got all my money in one account, so I'm just like, look at this.
Right.
And there's some ego involved because I'm like, this guy thinks I'm a piece of shit. Let me just show him how much money I make or used to make. And anyway, so finally he's like, okay, we can try to make this work. So he's got like a stack of papers and photos and a note from my mother and a picture of my dad.
Yeah.
And finally, Steve is like, what if you just put it in Sarah's name?
Aha.
Because she's got up-to-date license, New York, everything. So I'm like, that's not bad. So I was like, what if we bought it in Sarah's name? And he's like, that would be a lot easier.
Okay.
So now I'm not even buying a car. I'm just paying for a car. According to the state of New York, I don't have a vehicle. And this is the kind of thing when... If we got divorced, we get along very well. I think we're going to go the distance here. But if we got divorced, it would be this moment where the judge or the attorney is like, that's not your car.
Oh,
that's her car.
Right. You're
like her
lose
attorney.
It you lose it like kids and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Exactly. Like her attorney would be like, no, look at it. It's Sarah Talamash.
Right.
So I end up... Oh, go ahead.
It's quite a gift. I'm just saying, you bought your lady a gift out of nowhere. A surprise car. You put a big bow on it.
I haven't talked to our accountant either. I hope I didn't fucking ruin everything.
Oh, God. I think you're fine.
I'm probably fine. But so anyways, we do that, and I would test drive the car, and I've already made my mind up because I'm like, I don't want to look through cars and compare cars. You're there all day.
Yep.
And poor Big Dick Raj, he's just sitting there twiddling his little thumbs.
Yes.
So I'm like, let's just get out of here. I'm like, this car is great. And it's got like a big semen stain on the side, like literally a big white stain. He's like, we'll take that out. Don't worry about it.
A Lewinsky.
And anyway, so I'm like, all right, this will be the car. He's like, you got to come back. And then it's a whole rigmarole, of course. As you know, you got to get insurance and license plates and the whole thing.
The money just keeps ding, 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 just keeps tallying.
Brutal. Just brutal. So I come back. I'm home for 3 days, just waiting. And now I've initiated. I'm going to get it Saturday. I got to show up with the check and leave with the car. But now, don't you have this? Every decision you make, as soon as you finalize a decision, you're like, fuck me. I'm stupid. I should call my dad. I should call my accountant.
Yes.
My parents hate me.
Completely. I had that with this apartment.
It's brutal. So we're just sitting around waiting. Finally, yesterday morning, as we're recording, and Steve Rogers and Caitlin Palufo, great comics, they show up. They pick us up at 9:30 a.m. So they left their house at like 8:30. These are angels.
Saints.
They scoop us up. So me, Sarah, Kramer, the butler, Steve, Caitlin, we all drive back out to Long Island. Beautiful day. We get there, and the car, they have it all scrubbed up and shining, and it's sitting there. It's the only car out there. It's on display.
Woo!
And so I'm like, that's my new car. I got a car. It's so exciting. And this is painful. So we wait. They told us to get there at 10:30. We'll be the first ones. It takes 45 minutes to get in there. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So he's like, you got to go talk to the financing person. We go in there, and this is brutal. This is where it kills you. It's in Sarah's name, so the whole time he's talking directly to Sarah. She signs all the paperwork. He's like, Miss Talamash, it's a big day for you. I know you're excited. We couldn't be happy for you. You got the blood red, whatever.
Yeah.
Here's this, period. He's giving her all the thing, and she's signing away. He's like, take this pen. You're going to want to keep it. That's your car pen. And I'm just sitting there like a cuck watching this whole thing happen.
Now, is she thrilled? I mean, she doesn't really emote a ton. If I know Sarah, she's not a big, excited gal. Is she going, oh, boy, this is great. I'm gay?
No, she was getting us new floor mats off of Poshmark. And, so I'm just sitting there, and it's a bruising your ego because it just hammers home this, like, I'm a child.
Yeah.
I don't have a license. I couldn't buy a car. My wife is getting the car because I'm a moron.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there like a single teardrop, like a Native American in a garbage pile. And then he's like talking to her. He's like, "Do you want to get the full warranty?" And I'm like, and she's just looking at me, and I'm like, "Well, I think I don't know." And he's like, "I'm not talking to you, you piece of shit. Shut your mouth, Four Eyes." And he broke my glasses. And so finally, we get the car though, and it's crazy. It's a crazy feeling. I haven't had a car in like 8 years, and then it was dead grandparents' cars. This is the first time buying a car.
Yes, what a grown up. Now I have so many questions. I know we're running short on minutes here, but I got a million questions.
All right, hit me.
Is it used? We'll just do lightning round. Used or new?
It's a certified pre-owned, a CPO.
Okay, but that means it's been owned, but it's still got a hymen, or it still runs perfectly, or refurbed. What is that?
I guess it just means it had the 175-point check, I guess. And it's got 14,000 miles on it. It's a 2018.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it tells you everything. Somebody bought it in Long Island, drove it to Santa Monica, drove it back, and then they leased it for a year and 4 months.
Okay.
So it's a pretty new.
Now, is it haggle? You haggle? Or you just bought it right off the sticker?
I did no haggling whatsoever. I was like, that's good. That's good for me. The guy was like confused. He's like, this is crazy. Because everyone tells you got to leave and you got to do the walk away. But I'm like, I got my friend driving me around. I got to get in and out here.
Right.
I don't want to do the thing. And I'm not good with all right, well, we're leaving. We'll walk.
Right. Yeah.
And I think we talked about this on a Cleav. Even if I saved $3,000, it's not worth it to me to go back and forth and over and out and all the lying and the weird shit.
Okay, well, you don't have to tell me what you dropped on this puppy, but let's say you got I'm just going to throw out a random number here. You got the sticker at $20K. Once you say I want it, what does it pop up to with the rust proofing and you got to have keys? How are you going to start it? The sunroof, the luminol, the miscarriage, whatever.
The insurance, I think it ended up being, good deal more than the sticker.
Yes, I hate that. I hate the good deal more.
Well, brutal, a few $1,000s more. And how about this? So we talked to Raleigh, the salesman, the whole time. He's our guy.
North Carolina?
We go to talk to the finance guy, and he goes, okay, so you should on you there have I pulled it all from savings, so I just paid cash. I mean, it's mine outright.
Yeah.
And he goes, you should have I'm going to make up numbers because I don't want to reveal, because I don't want people messaging me saying you got fucked there.
Of
course. He's like, you should have a check there for $49,850. And I was like, no, it's for $44,000. And then he's like, oh, let me see where I went wrong. Yup, you're right.
What?
So
what is
he
that?
threw in an extra $4,000.
Wow,
and
he rooked you.
I think they try to catch you with your pants down to
Of
just
course.
write a check.
Wow.
They want you to go, okay, that sounds right.
That's where you get the slimy sleazebag used car guy stereotype.
It was a little strange. And then on one of the paperworks that we were signing, the mileage is 14,042 miles, but it was missing a digit. It said 1,402.
Oh.
And I was like, wait, what's this? You're off by 1,000 here.
Yeah,
And he's like,
interesting.
well, it was like the movie Big when he's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
He put down a couple extra digits. So a little shady, tricky, weird shit.
Definitely. Wow, I'm glad you got out of there with your shirt on, as they say. I know your pants were off, but that's a whole nother bag of hammers. But hey, congratulations. It's like Henry Hill. You popped your cherry. This is very exciting. And I can't wait to get in this puppy and give it a big sniff and get that new car jizz in my nose.
It's got the smell. I mean, this thing is spotless other than the cum stain that he couldn't get out. We went back there. He's like, we did the best we could, and it's still there, but whatever. But it's shiny and bright. So yesterday was the first day we had it. We drove it back. Then we had podcasts to do and whatever. And so right around 5 o'clock, we're sitting there like, what do you want to do? And I go, let's go get in the car.
Yeah!
We get in the car, we drive over the Queensboro Bridge, 59th Street Bridge, doo-doo-doo-doo, feeling groovy, drove straight to Central Park. We parked next to Magnolia Bakery. We eat a couple cupcakes, put some money in the meter. We walked all over Central Park. I'm going to be all over that shuffleboard court. And we got back to the meter right as it expired, which is such a good fit. We had to jog to get to the meter, hop back in the car, cruise back around. It was cruise night. We went to Astoria Park, watched the sunset. And I got a vehicle, baby. I got to come scoop you up. We'll go to Jersey or Long Beach, wherever the fuck you're talking about.
Scoop me, bitch. And we got to do you know who you are? You're Steve McQueef. You're Bullet. You're out on the highway, and we got to do a queef in the car. A car queef.
A car queef. I just rewatched Bullet. Fun movie.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's exciting. I still prefer French Connection as a movie and a car chase, but that's neither here nor there.
Completely agree. That's a way better film. Bullet's just that one run, and that's it.
Yeah, it's exciting. The same guy did the car chase, but yeah, not a great movie, really. I'm kind of like, who gives a shit? But
yeah, he's a cool guy. He's got a turtleneck on. What a gig that is to be the car race movie guy.
Pretty good. He basically invented that fucking thing.
Right. Wow. How do you get into that? But yeah, so cool. Is it what you said you were going to get? I already forgot the brand. Or did you mix it up?
It's a Nissan Sentra. It's bright red. I mean, I'm giving too much info. You got my neighborhood, my car, and the color here. People could be shitting on that thing. Good point.
I feel the same way with the Hog. I keep a what do you call it? An undisclosed cover on it, or like a unrecognizable, or what do you call bland?
An unmarked van?
Yeah, something like that. Unmarked Normand. I don't know, but it's a very basic cover, just so people aren't like, is that the Hog? And then you see the Hog, then you know I live in that building.
Right. Well, I'll just tell this real quick. So the day before I picked up the car, that was the night that Sarah went out with some friends, and I was like sitting here watching Rosemary's Baby, getting creeped out, and I was like, let me go for a walk. I walk half a block, and this woman, a nice-looking woman, came running across the street, holding her phone. She's listening to Tuesdays with Stories.
What?
She comes running. She's like, this is crazy, but look at this. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. And she's like, yeah, I'm just listening to Tuesdays, so nice to see you. And I'm like, well, nice to meet you. And then it was awkward because she just wanted to give me my privacy and vice versa, but we kept walking like in the same direction. She was like 3 feet in front of me. It was like that weird thing.
Yeah,
I had to like slowly walk to let her get distance.
I think women are better at the distance. From my experience, not to generalize, but women are like, I'm a fan, thank you, stay over there, but dudes are like, let me lick your nipples and fuck you and all this shit.
Yeah, I think dudes think we want to hang.
Right.
Also, women might just be like desperately not want to fuck us, so they're like, I don't want to fuck you, just believe me.
Yeah, exactly, which, hey, great, we got it. But that's the thing, folks. Get on the Patreon. We had a hot guest. We had Stavros Halkias from Cumtown. He killed it. We got a hot guest coming up, and you don't want to miss out on this one. So the Patreon is cooking. We're putting out content at least every week. We'll do a car queef if we can. We're trying to get it out there, folks. Plus, it's got the live eps and some old stuff, so you don't want to miss out.
Yeah, get weird, have fun, join up. It'll be exciting for you. And my special is coming out soon. Very soon. We're not allowed to release the date yet. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing, but just soon, I can say.
Okay. Can I ask what the intro is? It's just going to be like...
I think it's just... Boom. Yeah, I think it's just Donnelly saying, here he is.
All right. I thought it'd be cool if you could film something real quick with the Nissan. You slide into a parallel park and get out of that sunroof and roll right into the cellar. Well,
I'm so nervous the thing's going to break, and I'm just dreading. I don't even want to drive it now, but I also do. Maybe I'll come by.
Come by. I'm free all day. I'm free all gay. And I got some gigs coming up. Check my website. And a fun little exclusive, Bert Kreischer invited me to open for him on a few drive-in movie theater dates.
Oh, that's killer. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, I need the dough, and I want to hang out. I'm rotting away in this apartment, and I have no air conditioning, so I'll be on a bus with the shirtless fat drunk himself. So come on out.
That's going to be great. Yes, and I have a gig. I think you're doing it right after me, or right before maybe. Royersford, Pennsylvania.
Oh, am I doing that?
That's what a fan told me. July 31st, Soul Joel.
Oh, yeah, Soul Joel.
It's an outdoor gig. Everyone's doing it, it looks like. Mine is Friday, July 31st in Royersford, right by King of Prussia, right just not too far from Philly, Pennsylvania. It's going to be one of those drive-up things or outdoor. It's an outdoor situation.
Sweet.
I haven't done a full set since 1988, so...
Well, what do you do, 10, 20, 15?
No, you headline. I'm doing like 45 minutes, an hour or something.
Oh, that's tough. Outside, 45 is a nightmare.
Gonna be brutal. Soul Joel's Comedy Club and Lounge, Royersford, Pennsylvania, and there's a bonus infrastructure, so if everyone could drive their old bones down there, that'd be nice. I'm dying. I just spent my life savings on a car that is gonna die in 10 miles.
But how good do you feel? Because I just did a gig, and the drive up and the drive back was hell, because you're with 28 comics, and half of them are a week in. So you get to drive the red rocket right up there.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited, and then there's a bunch of relationships I can get rid of now. Steve Rogers, never have to see that guy again.
Yeah,
Oof.
get your big dong out of here. I got my own wheels, dickless.
Yeah, get out of here, big dog. By the way, I'm joking, of course, and Steve will be on that gig in Royersford, and he's great. So
great guy, great comic, and great piece, apparently.
Yeah, so join the Patreon, subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to our YouTubes, give it a review. I don't know, we haven't done all that shit in a long time, but keep listening. Follow the Instagram account. Tuesdays with Stories on Instagram. There's great clips. Nobody follows the fucking thing.
Great clips. We got clips on the Tuesdays Twitter. Follow your YouTube. Get your subscribers up. Please. And follow the YouTube for Tuesdays and subscribe and fucking watch Out to Lunch and the whole thing. Tell a friend.
Yes. And Sarah's new album. Shit, sorry.
Oh.
Voluptuous Boy comes out today.
Oh,
it's called
look
Voluptuous
at that.
Boy on 800 Pound Gorilla Records, so go check that out. For fucking Christ's sake, subscribe to her YouTube, the whole thing.
Good for her. Great time to put an album out. People who need content. Everybody wants to kill themselves, so that's good. Good on you, Sarah.
All right. George is saying cut it. I mean, we're way long here.
Oh, all right. Well, hey, the people could use an extra 6
All right. I'm a
inches.
6.
All right.
All right.
I'll see you next week. I'll see you in the wheels there, hopefully. Pick me up. Chariot awaits.
All right.
All right. Praise Allah.
Bye.
No